Are you considering moving to San Antonio, but you're just not sure yet? Well, today I'm going to tell you about the top 10 reasons you shouldn't move to San Antonio. So stay tuned. Hey everyone, I'm Christine Johnson. Welcome to another episode of Serving San Antonio, where I tell you everything there is to know about living right here in San Antonio and the surrounding areas. So the first reason you shouldn't move to San Antonio, and I'm just going to get this one right out of the way: guns. If you don't like guns and you don't like being around people that own more guns than a small army, don't come to San Antonio. Actually, better yet, don't come to Texas. I'm pretty sure that once you buy your first house, you get a gun and a box of ammo for free. Just kidding, that's not true. This is something that I wasn't really used to growing up, but luckily my husband, being around guns his whole life, was able to prepare me when I moved here. So hopefully this is considered just a little bit of preparation. Number 2, it's a commuter city. What do I mean by that is it's such a big city that you can't really walk everywhere that you want to go. So that's one of the dislikes that a lot of people have, is that even though they're living in the city, they still have to drive or take an Uber to get somewhere. Number 3, the trees are trying to kill us. Okay, just kidding. They're really not trying to kill anybody, but there's this thing called Cedar Fever. And actually, fun fact, it's not the cedar trees, it's the juniper trees that we call cedar, which I guess is some sort of Latin word for that. So fun fact, a lot of people don't know that. Anywho, when these so-called cedar trees come out, they spread some sort of dust out that really affects a lot of people. Now, it's mostly that I've witnessed people that have lived here for a very long time, or people that were born and raised here. Fingers crossed that it doesn't happen to me eventually down the road. There are some remedies if you get ahead of the game, so be prepared. Just know that there are some things that can help with it. Okay, number 4, fire ants. Never heard of fire ants before until I came to Texas. What happened was I was standing in a pile of fire ants. What they look like is just a little dirt pile, so you wouldn't know that ants are gonna come out there. But as soon as you step on them, they all come out and they start biting you. And they hurt for days after, so just be prepared. There's no way to really prevent yourself from stepping in one. You're gonna do it, maybe once, hopefully not twice, but everyone's definitely going to learn this one the hard way. Number 5, there's no Major League Baseball or Major League Football team here. Now, this might not be something that you care about, but I know for me back home, we had both, and it always made it a lot of fun for get-togethers, to cheer for your local team, or to go downtown, tailgate, and go to a sports game. So for some people, this might be quite an adjustment. Here's another adjustment. I know for me, being a Ravens fan, be quiet, you little Steelers fans, I don't care about how many rings you have, okay? It's hard for us to watch the games here because they only show the Cowboys or the Texans and all the teams in Texas. So I have to pay extra for the NFL package in order to watch every single game. And additionally, not every place when you go out to watch your game will have it on. Make sure you call first, because I've been to 2 places so far that did not have the channel that my Ravens were playing on. But they do have a basketball team, so you could become a Spurs fan. Number 6, the heat. I know I've said this a billion times before, and I'm sure it's pretty obvious, we are in Texas. However, in July, the average temperature is about 95 degrees, with some days being in the triple digits. The other thing about it is there's no trees here for shade. Okay, there's trees, but there's not really tall trees like I'm used to and getting shade every now and then wherever I go. It's like a spotlight on you at all times. And I don't go anywhere without sunscreen. I have it in my purse, in my car, in my kid's snack bag, you name it. I've got sunscreen. I mean, have you seen how pale I am? And just imagine the rest of my family. Number 7, traffic and congestion. If you don't like traffic, you might want to think about where you're considering living here in San Antonio. I know that was a huge thing for me when I moved here, so I picked a place that I knew that there wasn't going to be a lot of long-term construction going on. There's roads like 281 and 1604 that are constantly congested and can cause a lot of delays in your travels. So just make sure that you consider the roads that you have to take in order to get to the places that you're going to be going, like work or friends and things along those lines. Now, the construction is temporary and they are only trying to make things better, but temporary could mean another 5 to 10 years. Number 8, heavily speaking Spanish. Now, this should definitely not deter you from coming to San Antonio or to Texas, but it's just something that I want you to be aware of. Let's just say this: I use my Translate app a lot. But be careful, because one time I was using my app and I said a few words that I knew in Spanish, and then all of a sudden he thought I spoke Spanish. I was like, let's get back to the Translate app. Number 9, crazy drivers. When I say crazy drivers, they're crazy. I've never seen drivers like this, and moving from Maryland, I thought it was crazy enough there. What do I mean by this? Well, there's a lot of big trucks here. Well, for us that don't drive big trucks, we don't know what it's like to feel like king of the road. One of my main gripes is when it rains here, it rains really, really hard, and it tends to flood. So be careful. If you don't have to be on the road, don't go out on the road, because those trucks, again, think they're king of the road, and they'll come zooming on by you, white sheet your car, and you'll be freaked out. Believe me, I've been victim a million times, and they still don't learn. Number 10, the Taco 20. Yeah, I know, I made that up. However, be prepared to put on a few. Remember those breakfast tacos that I speak of? Well, they're everywhere. People are always buying them in bulk and just giving them out. So when you go to work, people have tacos, or when you go to a kid's event, there's tacos. So just beware, there's food everywhere. And I don't mean just the Taco 20, I mean the San Antonio 20, because the food here is just amazing. So just be prepared for the Taco 20. Okay, and a little bonus for you, number 11, Fringe. Fringe is everywhere, so be prepared to love it. Okay, everybody, those are my top 10 plus 1 reasons why you shouldn't move to San Antonio. But if you ask me, I don't think they're all that bad. But if you have any further questions about moving here to San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you know how to reach me. Call, text, email, you know the drill. Thanks for watching another episode of Serving San Antonio. I'm Christine Johnson with Fathom Realty. I'll see you next time.